In 2007, in Estonia, Anna presents herself at the Sarn Institute, a psychiatric hospital in the country. She was hired to be an art therapy instructor and shows nervousness upon entering the building for the first time. Soon after, she is greeted by the institute's director, Dr. Novotny, who explains the security rules to her. Suddenly, the atmosphere becomes tense and the place goes on alert when a doctor informs that his most dangerous patient has escaped from her room. For her protection, Dr. Novotny locks Anna inside a dark room until everything is under control. There, Anna meets a girl who introduces herself as Lena Claimer. Despite her small body and childlike face, Anna becomes very frightened when she realizes that Lena is the patient the doctors are looking for. Hey, the movie I'm going to summarize today is Orphan, First Kill, also known as Orphan 2. So grab some popcorn, sit in a comfortable place, subscribe to the channel, and come with me. Before Lena can attack Anna with her pencil, the doctors burst into the room and take the patient back into custody. Anna is surprised to discover that the most aggressive case in the asylum is actually a child, but Dr. Novotny later clarifies that Lena is actually 31 years old. The girl has a gland problem that prevents her body from aging after a certain age. He tells that 2 years ago, Lena took advantage of her childlike appearance to be adopted by a loving family. At some point, she tried to seduce her adoptive father but failed. Because of this, she killed the entire family and was sent to the Sarn Institute. In the end, the doctor reveals to Anna that Lena has marks on her neck and wrists from being tied up. That night, a hospital employee named Dmitri goes to Lena's cell to deliver a package. She notices that Dmitri has an attraction to her, so she persuades him to enter the cell. Lena torments him until he lowers his guard, then she brutally smashes his head against the wall. She then takes his badge and runs away. Before reaching the exit door, a security guard stops her. Lena orders another patient to attack the guard and then gives him candy as a reward. Outside the building, Anna sees Lena escaping and runs back to the hospital. Terrified, she quits on her first day. Anna returns home and suddenly the car trunk opens by itself, but she doesn't see anyone there. When she enters the house, Lena surprises her and hits her head. Lena goes upstairs and uses Anna's computer to search a database of missing children until she finds Esther, a missing girl who looks very much like her. On her way out, she discovers Anna is still alive, so she ends her life in the cruelest way. Soon after, she is found by a local police officer in the middle of the snow. Using the information she got before, she confesses that her name is Esther and her parents are in the United States. Meanwhile, in a coastal town called Darien, Trisha and Alan are watching a fencing competition to support their oldest son, Gunnar. They are Esther's parents, and the couple, especially the husband, is still suffering from their daughter's disappearance. Suddenly, Donan, a detective who has been investigating Esther's case, finds the couple to tell them that their daughter has been found. Trisha immediately flies to Russia to pick up her daughter, who is actually Lena, the fake Esther. Trisha is so happy with her daughter's return and flies back to the United States the next day. On the way, Trisha shows Lena a picture of her grandmother. Lena responds that she's looking forward to seeing her again, but it turns out she has died. The mother becomes a little suspicious and Lena quickly goes to the bathroom to calm down. In short, they arrive and the family finally reunites again. However, Gunnar seems unhappy about his sister returning to the family. Lena sees her new home for the first time, trying to adapt to the new environment. The next day, the fake Esther is taken to Dr. Seagar, who performs some psychological tests on her. However, Lena suddenly stands up and speaks strangely to the parrot, calling it Sydney, which increases the doctor's suspicion because it's not the same bird. While waiting outside the room, Lena intentionally spills a drink on the assistant and then eavesdrops on the conversation between Trisha and Dr. Seagar. The doctor tells the mother that there are some behavioral changes. Lena then makes a scene, accusing a boy of tearing her dress. On the way, Lena sees Donan taking pictures of them from a distance. At home, Alan takes Lena to his art studio where he shows some of his masterpieces. She confesses that she likes arts and asks to draw Alan, which he accepts. Soon after, Alan is surprised by the result and wants to teach her more about painting. That same night, Trisha sneaks into Lena's room and tries to read her Bible, but the fake Esther rushes to her and takes the book. When the mother leaves, she finds Esther's diary. She discovers about Esther's personality and tries to copy it. During a family dinner, Donan arrives to check if everything is okay. Lena, who feels uncomfortable with his presence, hides in the kitchen while listening to the conversation. Afraid that her true identity will be revealed, she steals jewelry and plans to escape from the house. However, she decides to stay longer because she wants to get closer to Alan. Days later, when the couple is about to get intimate, Lena suddenly invades the room and becomes jealous of them. She then tears Trisha's dress for her gala. Later that night, Alan and Trisha go to a gala for Trisha's work, so Gunnar invites his friends for a party. Meanwhile, Donan passes by the house, telling Gunnar he wants to use the bathroom. Instead, he infiltrates Lena's room to get some samples. Lena observes him from afar and decides to follow him to his house. Alan and Trisha arrive home earlier than expected. Trisha enters Lena's room and finds her Bible diary, where she sees that the book came from the Sarn Institute and Donan's address. Donan discovers that Lena's fingerprint is not the same as Esther's, but he can't tell the parents because Lena stabs him multiple times. To her surprise, Trisha appears and shoots Donan until he dies. Afterwards, Lena confesses to Trisha who she really is, but Trisha is not surprised because she already knew everything. She reveals that the real Esther died accidentally at Gunnar's hands and that she helped her son hide the body in a bunker. She tells Lena that she only pretended to believe her because of Alan. The two take Donan's body to the same bunker, send an email to his boss, and agree to unite until both benefit. When they return home, Trisha and Lena act normally. That night, Trisha tells everything to Gunnar, who doesn't agree to continue with Lena. The next day, Trisha teaches Esther to pass as the real Esther by telling her old memories. They go to Dr. Sager's office and manage to deceive her with their stories. Upon arriving home, Gunnar goes to Lena's room and claims that she is his property, but receives 2 slaps in the face. Before the family dinner, Trisha puts a large amount of her sleeping pills in Lena's food. Lena suspects and prefers to take the food to her room. Instead of eating the mac and cheese, she offers it to the rat. Later, Alan invites her to accompany him at work and teaches her the art of black light painting. When Alan is distracted, Trisha appears and tells Lena to stay away from her husband because he will never be hers. Before going to sleep, Lena sees that the rat died of an overdose and soon discovers that Trisha is plotting something. In the morning, Lena surprises the family by preparing breakfast. She also makes a special smoothie for her mother with a dead rat inside. The family goes to the train station to say goodbye to Alan before he goes to work. At one point, Lena tries to push Trisha and Gunnar onto the tracks, but fails. As soon as Alan boards the train, Trisha tells Lena that it's time to get rid of her. However, Lena manages to escape and sprays pepper spray on Gunnar. She then takes Trisha's car and speeds away. On the way, she's stopped by the police and taken back home. At home, Gunnar and Trisha can't stand it anymore and plan to kill her. They go to Lena's room, where Gunnar holds her and the mother tries to cut her apart. Luckily, Lena manages to break free, but is chased by Gunnar. He ends up pushing her down the stairs, thinking she's already dead. At the same time, Alan informs his partner that he will arrive home earlier, which further complicates the situation for them. Shortly after, Lena disappears and Gunnar receives the order to eliminate her. He goes after her alone to Alan's studio, where she shoots him with a bow and arrow, then stabs him mercilessly until he dies. Trisha witnesses the crime and becomes furious. She chases Lena throughout the house, destroying the kitchen. The commotion causes a fire in the house, but Trisha doesn't care and continues hunting the madwoman to the roof. While the women face off on the roof, Alan arrives at the house and follows them up there. Alan is forced to make a difficult choice and decides to save Lena from falling at that moment, sacrificing his own wife who falls and splatters her head on the ground. Shortly after, Lena's dental prosthetics fall out, which frightens Alan. Lena finally throws him off the roof, killing him too. A few moments later, when the house is completely on fire, Lena exits the house and deceives the authorities by passing as Esther. Sometime later, Lena is taken to Dr. Seeger, who decides to seek new adoptive parents for her. So that's it. Hit the bell to receive new summaries, and don't forget to comment what rating you give this movie. So until the next recap.